Well, hey there, welcome back to another episode here on Hall Family Farms. So today is December the 6th, Monday, December the 6th, 2021, and today's project is one that we've needed to do for a little while. I want to extend the workbench in our greenhouse to give us more space. So I'm going to bring you in for a closer look so you can kind of see what we're talking about. I've already done some pre-construction here for the extension, and I've got a couple more pieces of 2x4 that I need to cut to length, and then we should be able to finish the assembly and install the extension to our workbench. So let me bring you in a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, welcome back. I'm going to bend over a little bit here. It's a little cramped here. That's why we're going to build this extension to our workbench. We've just got too much clutter here. I need to get this cleared up for another project that I'm planning to do. So what I want to do is extend this out 3 feet, and that'll still give me room to have my chair here so I can talk to you over the winter and stay warm here in the greenhouse. But we're going to bring it out, and I'm going to use the white wire shelving to put on top so that we can move some of our plants over here, over top of our water plants here. So I think it's going to work out just fine. It's going to give these plants a little bit of shade, which I think that they would be okay. They wouldn't mind that. And it's going to give us some more shelving area to store and start seeds and store plants that we've grown. So, and we'll continue to grow over the winter in preparation for next spring. So that's kind of the plan. So let me go finish cutting those 2x4s that I need to cut, and then we'll bring you in here and set you up so you can see the installation, and hopefully everything will go smoothly. So we'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, we've built our rectangular frame for the top of the bench extension. Now we're going to add the back leg to the support here. Alright, I'm just going to pre-drill a couple more holes here. Okay, I need to get more screws. I've run out of screws. I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see here, we're using the number 10 2.5 inch long Power Pro exterior grade screws for this project. That's a neat lid. You just twist it and it opens and closes. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. It's closed, and then you twist it and it's open. Pretty cool. Okay, I think all we need now is to cut the other leg to put right here on this side, and then we will basically attach we'll basically attach the extension to the existing workbench that we have in the greenhouse, and we'll just have the two legs to hold it up on this end. At least that's the plan. We'll see how it works. Okay, it's not perfect by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. And in fact, I'm not even sure it's even level, but I don't think it really is that critical at this point. So now what we've got to do is measure for the leg that's going to go here. And it looks like this leg's going to have to probably go on the outside. So it's going to be odd shaped for sure. Unless I put it on this end, which that's probably doable. Alright, so let me go get a piece of 2x4 and then we'll mark and cut it and then finish screwing this in. Probably go ahead and do that here. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. but it doesn't have to be in this case. This is just to hold some plants, and already without this leg it's pretty sturdy, and we haven't even got the shelving on. So all right, well, let me go get a piece of wood, and then I'll be right back to mark it, and then we will get the shelving and put that on, mark it, and cut it. Okay, we've got our leg here. Now let's see if this is gonna work. You know what? I don't even think we're gonna need to cut this. I think this is gonna be just fine. And I think we're gonna attach it right here. So that way we'll have a nice, smooth front here. It is, like I said, a little bit odd, but we are having to accommodate the water container below, which is basically a concrete mixing tub that we're using as a little miniature pond to overwinter our plants for the koi pond that we have in our backyard. So this looks perfect. I think this is going to be just fine. I think I'm going to put some screws in this. So I'm going to go pre-drill a few holes. We'll come back and attach it. All right, we've got our board pre-drilled here. We're going to just do it one more time to make sure we've got what we need. And if we need to add some more support for this over time, we certainly can. This isn't a carpentry project that you would be trying to do in your home. This is a greenhouse, so we're just trying to make it fit. Alright, so that looks pretty good right there. Let me just run a screw in here. Oh! Okay, well, we've got one screw in, so alright, so we've got our frame attached. I think I may put two more screws into where it connects here. So let me do that here while I can. Okay, so I think we've got the frame now. So I'm gonna go get the shelving. We'll bring it out and then we'll have to measure and cut it because it only comes in 6 foot length. So we're gonna have to cut it in half. That'll give us another 3 feet to figure out how we can put some more shelving in here. So let me go do that and I'll be right back. Okay, we have our shelving here. And so we're going to install it like that. We're going to use some U-shaped fencing nails to attach it to our frame. And it should work. Now I did make it a little bit, well actually about probably 6 to 8 inches wider than the actual metal frame, and that's so that if I want to I can always come in and add a piece of plywood or something like that in the back to give me some extra space. This is the widest that this comes in, at least at my local Lowe's home improvement store. So we're going to go ahead and mark this so that we can cut it. Okay. So this shouldn't take too long. So I'm going to go and cut that off camera and then we'll come back and install the framing. So we'll be right back. Okay, we have our wire shelving cut to size. So that's going to work out just fine, it looks like. Okay. And if we need to, you know what, if we need to, we can always put a support here in the middle just to give it a little bit more support. We'll go ahead and attach this. And what we're using is fencing nail. It's kind of a U-shaped, it's pointed on both ends. These fencing nails are a little bit tricky to nail. That's why I use the pliers. That way I'm not smashing my fingers. But you can see, I don't know if I can hold it up here. If you can see, one end is a little bit longer than the other. So you try to start it with the long end first. Okay, so I've got the long end started here. So now I'm just going to hold on to it and try to keep it straight. Like I said, it's not the easiest nail to try to drive. other reason why I had to make it a little bit wider too, again, it had to do with accommodating the cement tub below that we're using as kind of a miniature pond to overwinter our water lettuce and water hyacinth and other plants that we have in there. So we had to make it such that it would accommodate that, and that we could also access that to pull it out and, you know, change the water occasionally. So I think this is going to work out just fine. It's wide enough. A standard seed tray is 20 inches in length, so it should accommodate that, and it's 10 inches wide. And with this being 36, we should be able to accommodate 3 seed trays. So that should be great. That'll free this up over here for potting up plants or doing other things. So you can never have too much space. Okay, I'm just going to put a couple more in here. I think, you know, what we have so far is probably sufficient for holding this together. I may put one right here in the middle, or off center here a little bit. Maybe I'll put 2. And then we may put a support. I'll have to see once I get the seed trays on here, you know, whether we need it or not. If we do, it shouldn't be a problem. We can just stick it up from the bottom and put a few screws in to attach it, so not a big issue. Okay, next let me go ahead and get a couple seed trays. I've got some over here actually that need to be repotted, so let's see here. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So now we've got room for 3 seed trays. That'll be just fine. So, with that being said, I think this is going to complete our project today. Let me just get the wood shavings out of my seat here. All right, let me try my seat out. Oh yeah, it looks like it's going to work just fine, so I don't have to give up my space here. Although, who knows, maybe down the road I may have to, but I think this is going to work out just fine. So I'll be able to come out here in the winter, sit down and just kind of admire all of the plants we have growing inside the greenhouse, and watch the seedlings grow over here. And that's going to give me more room now that I can get the seed trays off of that workbench over there. I can put some more plants out on that shelf, so that's going to be good. And I'm going to have some more cleaning to do over here on the workbench, get that uncluttered. But for the most part, I think things are looking pretty good in here. We've actually got some tomatoes that are looking real good. They just need to ripen up and turn red, but they're a good size. And so I'll take the camera off the tripod so you can kind of get a tour here inside and see what we've got going on. Okay, I've taken the camera off the tripod, so we're gonna go inside now and take a little tour as we wrap up today's episode. So entering the greenhouse, you'll see which you've seen in the past if you're a subscriber and follower of our channel. We built this, gosh, I think maybe it was last winter, early spring, this 2-shelf system here with a small shelf on top and a larger shelf on the bottom. And so you can see we've got our black-eyed Susans that we need to get out and get planted. that we grew from seed. We also have some of the green sweet potato vine cuttings that are trying to... You can also see we have some green sweet potato vine cuttings that we have rooted, and we're trying to get them to grow here. Here's one that you can see. And then of course we have our coleus that we rooted from cuttings. We've got, I don't know, there might be 10 of those. And we have some strawberries that we just potted up here recently that we got from runners. And then on the top shelf, it's pretty much almost all strawberries. You can see they're already in bloom. Here's one that's blooming. We've got one here forming a berry. I don't know if you can see that. More blooms here in the back pot. And so we've been giving them fertilizer and encouraging the blooms. So we're hoping to have some... Oh, look right here. What a surprise. We've got a little strawberry right here. I don't know if you can see that. So hopefully that will ripen up here in the next week or so. And again, we've got some more here that are flowering, and here's one that's starting to develop a strawberry. Here's another. So that's the advantage of having a greenhouse. And of course down below we've got more strawberries growing down below. That's the same variety, the Ozark Beauty. That's what we have in the plants above. And of course there's our coleus. And our stevia cutting that we got from my gardening buddy and cousin down in Alabama, that is actually starting to grow very nicely. So it's a natural sweetener. And then you'll see down here in this container, we've got lots of red cherry grapes that need to be harvested. So one of my former colleagues shared with me a recipe that she used using some of these cherry tomatoes that we grew and took in to give to her. So we're going to have to give that a try. But we've got a number of here, probably enough to do that recipe that she shared with me. Of course, we've got the grapevine growing in here, and it still has most of its leaves because of the warm temperatures inside. We also have some petunias right there, and then we have one green pepper, a California Wander green pepper that we grew from a seed. It looks like it needs some fertilizer, some discoloration in the leaves there. We've also got some little tomato cuttings here from our Sun Gold tomatoes that we grew this summer and into the fall. And then here are the tomatoes that we grew from cuttings we took back in maybe August, and look at this, they are just doing wonderful. In fact, if I take you down here, you're gonna see a number of nice size tomatoes that are just developing, and I mean they're getting to be about as big as the size of the palm of my hand. So we're looking forward to some fresh vine ripened tomatoes. Some more petunias growing here in these containers, and then of course we have our lemon tree we grew from a seed, doing very well. And our tropical hibiscus have been blooming. Here's a spent bloom from the yellow, and here's the double peach that we obtained this year. And then we've got a couple others that are more of a red color. And then we have some more coleus growing down here. Variety of different types of coleus. So all in all, it's looking pretty good in here. And now that we have this extension installed, and you can see the water plants down below, this is going to be really nice when we get, into February, March, and start getting seeds starting here. that's going to be a really bonus having this extension here. So I am really pleased with it. It seems very sturdy. And then that's going to free this table with the plywood top on it. I'll be able to kind of clear up this mess that I have here and get that cleared up, so we'll actually be able to use it for potting up plants and doing other projects. And I have an idea of a project. I'm not going to share it with you all right now, but I do have a little project that I want to try here, so stay tuned. You'll probably see that in an upcoming episode. And the wind has knocked over our blue salvia, and it looks like it's starting to maybe drop some seeds, so we're going to have to try to collect it. It's called Salvia Blue Queen. It's a perennial. So now that we have some room over on the other bench, we may be able to move that over there, and I'm going to try to see if I can collect the seeds from that plant. So that's it. Let me put the camera back on the tripod, so we'll go back outside and we'll wrap up. Okay, that's going to bring us to an end of this episode. I'm glad you were able to join us. I hope you got something from this little project that we did. I think we're going to get a lot of use out of that extension. There was just a lot of wasted space above that cement tub that we're using as a little pond to overwinter our more tropical, tender water plants that we grow in our koi pond during the spring, summer, and early fall. So it made sense, I think, to build an extension over that so that we can use that space to grow our plants from seeds this spring. With that being said, please take care of yourself. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider clicking that subscribe button. It doesn't cost a thing. It's absolutely free. No subscription charge. And if you click that notification bell, you'll always be notified when we upload new content to our channel. And if you give us a thumbs up, we'd greatly appreciate that feedback as well. If you think we're doing a great job, if you like the projects we're doing. Again, it's not, some of the things we do, they're not perfect. It's not something a professional contractor would do. It's a little cobbled with this little project, but you have to make do with what you have, and we have a surface here with our property that's a little bit on a slope, and we had to accommodate that container below that tub. So anyway, it works, it's functional. I think it's going to do a great job for us. So until the next episode, we will see you then. Please take care. Bye-bye.